The heart is a hollow muscular cone-shaped organ located in the thoracic cavity, above the diaphragm and in between the two lungs. It is enclosed by a two-layered translucent tissue membrane known as the pericardium. The pericardial membrane secretes a pericardial fluid that acts as a lubricant as well as protect the heart from external pressure and push shock. On the outer surface, the heart is covered by a layer of fat that acts as a shock absorber. Now let's dive inside the heart and see what happens there. The heart is made of 4 chambers, that is 2 auricles and 2 ventricles. Atria form the upper chambers while ventricles form the lower chambers. Auricles are thin-walled and smaller in size than the ventricles. The right atrium is thin-walled and is found in the upper part of the heart. The left atrium too is thin-walled and in the upper part of the heart. There are 2 ventricles, namely the right ventricle and the left ventricles. They are both thick and muscular so that they can be able to pump blood. There are 3 kinds of blood vessels. 1. Arteries. Arteries are blood vessels that carry blood away from the heart. Arteries have thick walls, and those attached near the heart can expand and contract with each heartbeat. Smaller arteries are called arterioles, and their diameter can be regulated by the nervous system. Arterial constriction and dilation affect blood pressure. The greater the number of arterioles dilated, the lower the blood pressure. Arterioles branch into smaller vessels called capillaries. Capillaries are extremely narrow, actually microscopic tubes. Their walls may be composed of only 1 layer of cells. In areas of the human body, capillaries are so numerous and interconnected that they form capillary beds. Here in the capillary bed, where the vessel walls are so thin, is where substances are exchanged with the cells and tissues of the body. Body cells are nourished by the blood when exchange takes place across the thin walls of the capillaries. For example, here is where nutrients are passed to the muscles and other cells of the body. And here is where oxygen is passed on to cells. Also, this is where cellular waste products are picked up by the blood. Let's take a look on the veins. Small veins called venules and other veins collect blood after it's passed through capillaries. Blood pressure is usually lower in veins, and there are valves that prevent backflow of blood. The heart receives blood from the body into the right atrium through 2 large veins called the superior vena cava and inferior vena cava. This blood is low in oxygen and high in carbon dioxide. The right atrium sends blood through an atrioventricular valve to the right ventricle. The right ventricle sends blood through a semilunar valve, thus the pulmonary, into the pulmonary trunk that leads to arteries to the lungs. That's the beginning of the pulmonary circuit. Pulmonary veins empty blood from the lungs into the left atrium of the heart, ending the pulmonary circuit. Now, this blood is now high in oxygen and low in carbon dioxide. The left atrium sends blood through the atrioventricular valve to the left ventricle. The left ventricle sends blood out of the heart through the semilunar valve to the aorta to be distributed throughout the body. Now that's the beginning of the systematic circuit. At this point, blood is distributed throughout the body for use. Like any other system, the circulatory system is prone to diseases and defects which include thrombosis, varicose veins, and arteriosclerosis. Thrombosis comes about when blood clots in the blood vessels. This clotting could be as a result of low pressure in the blood, damaged walls of blood vessels, or changes in blood composition. Some of these clots may travel to the heart and block the coronary artery, thereby reducing oxygen supply to the heart muscles, and this may cause heart attack. Coronary thrombosis occurs when heart muscles do not get enough oxygen and nutrients because of the clot in the coronary artery and may result to a heart attack. Cerebral thrombosis occurs in the blood vessels pumping blood to the brain and may result to a stroke. Some control measures for this disease include avoiding foods rich in cholesterol and stopping internal bleeding from a patient as quick as possible. Another defect is varicose veins. It is a condition where the veins at the back of the leg become swollen due to failure of some veins to work properly, thus resulting to fluid retention. Veins have valves that prevent the backflow of blood. Sometimes these valves may not close properly and cause blood to flow back. This is thought to cause the vein to stretch, causing a varicose vein. To control varicose veins, it is advisable that one has regular exercise or wear compression stockings to enhance circulation. The third disease is arteriosclerosis. It is a condition caused by hardening of arteries. This may be caused by too much calcium deposits on the walls of arteries or buildup of too much cholesterol, preventing blood flow in the vessels. Control measures include regular exercise, avoiding foods rich in cholesterol, controlling emotional and psychological stress, reducing intake of calcium.